welcome back, and hello YouTube. Today I felt like doing something a bit different outside of film trivia, so today I decided to put myself through watching Batman and Robin. Yeah. So, what is there to say about Batman and Robin besides the fact that it's just horrible? It really is just quite horrible. There's not an awful lot I can say on the positive side when it comes to Batman and Robin. Well, I can try and give you a plot synopsis, even though I really can't. But first of all, let's see what the back cover of the DVD says about it. Chills and thrills. Will Gotham City be put on ice? George Clooney is Batman as the Dark Knight battles his greatest threats yet. Cold-hearted Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and venomous Poison Ivy, played by Uma Thurman. Batman has more than Gotham City to protect. The youthful eagerness of crime-fighting comrades Robin, played by Chris O'Donnell, and Batgirl, played by Alicia Silverstone, puts them frequently in harm's way. New very special effects include a wild sky surfing sequence and Freeze's outrageous ice blasting arsenal. Outrageous really is the predominant word to use there, because yeah, it's state-of-the-art excitement from our Bat family to yours. See, not even the fucking back of the DVD can give off any kind of plot synopsis for this film. All I can tell you about the plot is basically Mr. Freeze is trying to find a cure because his wife has been stricken with MacGregor Syndrome, and he's, like I said, trying to find a cure, so he's stealing diamonds. Meanwhile, in South America, Pamela Isley is trying to create mutant hybrids of plants, trying to crossbreed plants with animals to have the animals fight back for themselves, but she's killed by Dr. Jason Woodrow. And why the fuck is Dr. Jason Woodrow in a Batman film anyway? If you know the DC universe, people know that Dr. Jason Woodrow, also known as the Floronic Man, or Plant Master, or whatever, was originally a villain of the Atom. Yeah, and eventually came across several other DC heroes such as Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and only really got connected with the Batman comic universe through Pamela Isley, as Pamela Isley is a former student of Dr. Woodrow. So Mr. Freeze is trying to find a cure for his wife by stealing diamonds because she's been stricken with MacGregor Syndrome. Pamela Isley is killed by Dr. Jason Woodrow and seeks vengeance on the Earth. Meanwhile, Batman is still struggling with his partnership with Robin. Barbara comes out of nowhere, and if you're familiar with the Batman universe, people know that Batgirl is actually the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, not the niece of Alfred Pennyworth. So there's one big old fuck up for you, but you need that kind of family link in there because central theme to the film is along the lines of family and what it is to be a family, to build a family and things like that. Anyway, it's explained that Barbara's parents died 5 years ago, and she's now just gone somewhat off the rails and now takes part in very dangerous motorcycle races. And Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy try banding together to try and freeze Gotham and start again. Mr. Freeze wants to hold it to ransom, whilst Poison Ivy wants to rid the world of humans and have plants rule the earth with her as the immortal queen, so to speak. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really give you anything else. Oh, Alfred is dying of MacGregor Syndrome as well. So that, but just what the fuck is MacGregor Syndrome? That's one of my biggest questions. Just what the hell is MacGregor Syndrome? Purely because it's never explained in the film. I understand that the disease itself is fictional. You know, it was made up for just for the film. But just what the fuck is it? how does it affect you? Where does it come from? How do you come down with MacGregor syndrome? That's like one of my biggest gripes. Um, right, moving on from that. Then you got dialogue. Let's have a look at that dialogue, shall we? Some of the dialogue, it's just a case of really hammy, cheesy in places. It's pun central. Just so many puns. And the thing is, I remember reading on IMDb that there are up to, I think it was like 29 different ice puns, and some of them go along the lines of, what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom. Tonight's forecast, a freeze is coming. That's everyone's favourite, if I'm honest. It is actually possibly the funniest pun out of them all on for this film. But yeah, God, it's just awful. Just I mean, I've just had to sit through this again. I've had this DVD for probably about 8 years now, and I only really bought it because it's part of the Batman franchise. So because personally I love Batman. I love the Batman films outside of this because, as you can probably tell, I just fucking hate this film. I really do. But yeah, I love Batman, so I bought the film. And the thing is, I actually had that on a VHS as well when it first came out in late 97, early 98 on videotape. I had it on video, and I remember when I watched it, I was like, wow, it's Batman, this film's great, yeah. And the thing is, yeah, there are some films where you watch as a kid, and when you watch it again as an adult, you can somewhat you know that it's a bad film anyway. Let's say like Masters of the Universe, Super Mario Brothers. They are, in all honesty, bad films. But the thing is, because I watched them as a kid, I've got some kind of nostalgic value towards them, as well as being, as a child, I was a fan of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I was a fan of the Super Mario Bros. Video games. So I still have that affinity towards them. And obviously I had an affinity towards Batman, so Batman and Robin seemed like a good thing. But after watching Batman and Robin as an adult, I was just like, oh God. You just grit your teeth and it just makes you think, what the fuck am I watching? It really does. You just like, it's terrible. Just terrible. It's not one of them films where it's so bad it's good. It is just a film that is just bad. Just awful. Shit, like mind-blowingly bad. I know there are worse films out there, you know, that are considered the worst of all time, like Mac and Me, Howard the Duck, The Room. Films that are genuinely considered just terrible. This fucking bites the bullet here. This for me is the fucking winner of just bad films, or just fucking horrible superhero films. I mean, like, there's also Daredevil, Superman 4, the Quest for Peace. They are some bad films, yeah, and that just really takes the cake there. It really takes the biscuit. And also, like, about Batman and Robin, the fucking lighting, just what was going on? Just what was going on with the lighting? Just, what the hell? I mean, like, at times, I genuinely felt like I was going to fall over and have a seizure and an epileptic fit. I really did. It was that fucking just bright, and the architecture of Gotham City had zero rhyme or reason. It was just like, who the fuck designed this city? Just, I mean, like, you look at, say, like, the architecture of the city in in Blade Runner, for example. And Blade Runner, okay, that's a bit of a weird film, but that is like one of them films that's grown over the years and has become somewhat of an underrated classic. And the thing is, the architecture there, it's blended from several different cultures, like the Egyptians, American, Native American, Japanese, things like that. And then you get fucking Gotham City and Batman and Robin, and just who the hell designed this city? It's like there was one sequence where the telescope is freezing Gotham City, and there was just this random hand just coming out of a building. Just certain sequences like that, and you're just like, really? Really? I feel sorry for the actors that were hired for this film. I really do, because damn, it took its toll on people's career outside of Arnold Schwarzenegger, because Schwarzenegger was, he was the biggest action hero of the 80s and the 90s. His career could never be damaged. So people remember the 60s Batman and how cheesy that film could be. People remembered that. I remember that as well. I just remember how cheesy it was. For example, with the 60s Batman film where Batman and Robin are over the ocean, and then suddenly Batman's leg is caught on a shark, and he asks Robin to get him the bat shark repellent. That's the 60s. That's cheesy. That's camp. It was... The comic books at the time were cheesy and camp, so you could get away with it. But in 1997, really, you can't get away with that kind of thing. And the thing is, it's almost like common knowledge now that Joel Schumacher was told by the producers to make the film like it's a 2-hour toy commercial, and that is exactly how Chris O'Donnell described it. He said that it's almost like a 2-hour toy commercial from what he was watching. Anyway, like I said, I feel bad for the actors. Like I said, their careers really did take a turn for the worse because of this. I mean, and it took them quite a few years to recover as well. I mean, like I said, besides Schwarzenegger's career was only put on hold purely because he had to go out for heart surgery to begin with. Then he did 3 films after that, 4 films, which was End of Days, The Sixth Day, Collateral Damage, then Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and then he became governor of California, and now he's back acting. George Clooney, he went back to ER, and it took him some time to basically remold himself into the Hollywood powerhouse that he is today. Shit, I mean, people thought that Alicia Silverstone was dead until she reappeared in 2006 in the film. I think it was called Stormbreaker or something like that. It was released in cinemas, it was panned and it bombed. But yeah, she disappeared off the face of the earth. Her career's never recovered because of this. Chris O'Donnell, he's working on television now. He's doing some police show in America. I think in that meantime, the only real meaningful thing that Chris O'Donnell did was he was in Vertical Limit. That's about it. And Uma Thurman, well, her career stumbled, and then she came back, did Kill Bill and Kill Bill Part 2. And yeah, her career kind of had a resurgence after that. And since then, she's just been milling around, just floating around. Not really heard much from her. Which is a bit weird, because you would have thought that after Kill Bill, she would have done lots of stuff, but apparently she hasn't. But anyway, it's like George Clooney has publicly apologised to Batman fans for just how fucking bad this film is. He's publicly apologised, and he's even given refunds. He's given fans money back because they watched this film. And he's even gone on to publicly slate the film. But in recent times, he's gone around and he's changed his mind, and he's actually thanked the film because it helped shape him as an actor. It helped shape him. As an actor, to be able to build, to basically say, yeah, to get where you are, every now and again you gotta make a piece of shit. You know, sometimes it has to be an absolute pile of fucking monkey spunk to be able to get where you are. I mean, Ben Affleck's done that. He's done it. I mean, he's Batman at the moment, but the thing is, look at Ben Affleck. He came out of nowhere. He won an Oscar with Good Will Hunting. Yeah, for the screenplay with Matt Damon. He was Daredevil. Made Geely, made just piece of crap after piece of crap, and then next thing you know, bam, starts coming out with actual good films, taking part in good films like Hollywoodland, The Town, and winning an Oscar for Argo. You know, well done, mate. But then you go and put your career back into question by doing Batman v Superman. But we'll see how the DC Extended Universe continues from here on out. Joel Schumacher, I mean, seriously, hang your head in shame for this. I know it's been nearly 20 years. It'll be 20 years next year for when Batman and Robin was first released in cinemas. And of course, you know, as you've seen from my previous video, it was the lowest grossing of the Batman films and the worst received. And I think it's currently got like a 3 point something rating on IMDb. And like I said, generally considered as the worst superhero movie of all time, and as well as one of the worst films of all time. But all I can say about Batman and Robin, if you haven't seen this film, if you haven't seen Batman and Robin yet, seriously, just don't waste your time. There is no point on putting yourself through 2 hours, or how long is it? Yeah, 2 hours, 120 minutes of just sheer bad, just mind-numbingly awful, just the kind of bad that actually has put me in a bit of a foul mood. And yeah, I've watched this today, and now I regret every second of watching this. For the sake of this video, I had to do it. And if you've watched it and know how bad it is, then what I would say, why did you watch it? But obviously, you have to. Sometimes you got to watch some bad to go with the good. But yeah, Batman and Robin, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being that this film should have been the highest grossing film of all time, sweep the Oscars kind of rating, to 1 being that this should never have been made. Batman and Robin gets 1. This film should never have been made, should never have been released. But obviously, after the success of Batman Forever, a sequel's commissioned and it's rushed out, and Hollywood fucking craps out just a vile piece of ass that legitimately boggles your mind to the point where you just want to scream, why? Why did you do it? That's the kind of thing that it makes you want to do when you watch this film. It's painful to watch, but yeah, 1 out of 10, it's a piece of shit. Thank God Christopher Nolan came out and gave us the Dark Knight trilogy and saved the Batman franchise. Just thank God for you. You are a beautiful man, Christopher. Joel Schumacher, hang your head in shame. Because nearly 20 years later, I'm pretty sure the Batman fans still won't forgive you for this, like, ever. So yeah, that's my review of Batman and Robin. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Obviously, I'm not just going to be focusing on horrible, similar pieces of shit. I will be looking at good films, bad films, obscure films, a whole array of films to review for you. So check back soon, because we're going back to film trivia, and we're moving on to a bit of sci-fi next. So check back, watch out for some film trivia. Got some other interesting trivia coming up in the pipeline as well, and obviously going to carry on with some film reviews as well whilst we're at it. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. Don't watch the film. Just don't watch the film. That's my final warning. Just don't. For your own safety, really. Oh god, just don't do it. Have a good one, guys. See you later.